if there's one team I can't stand, it's Liverpool. Whenever we play them, just want to smash them. I just can't stand Liverpool. I cannot stand Liverpool and all this Chelsea. You ain't got no history nonsense. I just really can't stand them, and I just hope tomorrow we smash them. I've been looking at their team. I've been looking at the goals they conceded against Leeds, and I really believe that we've got a big opportunity tomorrow to score plenty and hopefully shut them up. So with that, let's get cracking. For me, growing up through the 80s into the 90s, it was always the big teams you always looked out for. It was always Liverpool because I just couldn't stand them. I really couldn't, you know. And for me, you know, before they won the league this season, it was almost as if they just felt as though they got this divine right to win games and to win trophies because of what they did in the past. You know, they ramble on about us and, you know, we got no history and all this. I think you'll find we have. And I think you'll find that in the last 20 years, what we've won compared to you guys, I don't think there's any argument. So it's a team that I just couldn't stand. And if you think of during the Mourinho time and then through that period of time, the Champions League games that seem to be year in, year out, it's almost as if, like, you know, the balls that being drawn out the pots had weights in, so they knew what Chelsea and Liverpool were, and they always seemed to be drawn out together. It all just stems through that. It got worse with that, and it's just to a point where I just can't stand Liverpool, and I really hope we smash them or somebody else stops them from winning the Premier League. If we can't win it, then I hope somebody else does and not them. Let's just say that. So let's get into this preview, and I've been looking at their goals they conceded against Leeds, and it was an eye-opener at the time. We all sat and watched it and was like, Leeds are doing all right here. But then you look at the goals again. I can't show you them on this video because they'll get pulled copyright. My video will be taken down. There's no point for me to put them on this video because I need to be able to talk to you guys, because that's the whole point of why you're watching the video in the first place. But there's some real glaring opportunities that I believe that I've discovered watching one game against Leeds. And bearing in mind the team that Liverpool put out: Alisson, Robertson, Van Dijk, Gomez, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Henderson, Keita, Wijnaldum, Mane, Salah, Firmino. The midfield three and the defenders had a lot to answer for in that game. Yes, they won it 4-3. You know, they got a dubious penalty anyway. But I mean, they've got some real problems. I know we've got problems with the goalkeeper. We've got problems with our defence. But my word, the way Leeds carved them open 3 times was a real eye-opener. Yes, you can say people are rusty and it's the beginning of the season, but my word. Let's have a look at that first goal. See if you can remember, the first goal started deep in Leeds' half and they played a long ball out wide left. Liverpool pushed up onto Leeds. The goalkeeper got the ball and he played it into midfield. And the midfielder who got the ball looked up and he had acres of space. Salah had gone to press, Firmino had gone to press, Mane was standing still. So they're out the game. As soon as that ball's played into midfield, they're out the game. Now the Liverpool 3 was sitting deep on their halfway line, 10 yards in front of their back 4. So Keita has to go to press the man with the ball at his feet. And by doing it, Wijnaldum and Henderson stayed still. The back 4 were in a line. But the winger on the left-hand side, who eventually scored, can't remember what his name was, he made a run and he was onside because he started in his own half. And the ball came over the top. And Trent Alexander-Arnold completely ignored the defensive line and went with him. And at that point, they're in trouble because Liverpool's defence was turned. The winger done fantastically well, if you can recall. He gets the ball down the left-hand side. He flicks it inside Trent Alexander-Arnold and he's out the game. Gomez is trying to get back in and Gomez just sticks a leg out and he just knocks the ball past Gomez and then comes across the 18-yard box, drills it into the bottom corner. And you have to query Alisson Becker as well for letting that go in from that position. Bearing in mind he cut in from that left-hand side, he should be on his near post or near his near post anyway, and he still conceded. But it was the fact that the midfielder had space to play a pass. Trent Alexander-Arnold ignored the defensive line and went with a runner. Gomez, we saw. Christian Pulisic, remember that run at Anfield last season where he laid it on a plate for Tammy to score? He went past that side of their defence. Alexander-Arnold and Gomez like they were nothing, just standing still. He made them look stupid. And for the most part, this guy for Leeds on the wing did exactly the same. So that was the first goal. And it was noticeable. There's a massive gap between the front three that are pressed. And this was first half, by the way. The midfield on the halfway line, defence is 10 yards behind. Lots of space to get hold of the ball and play your passes. If we can get people in down that left-hand side. Turbo Timo, for example, if he can make a run and get played in by somebody like Jorginho over the top, we're in business. Now, if you remember, it was a long ball over the top with Van Dijk tried to control it and literally just tried to bring the ball down and come off his foot straight to Patrick Bamford of all people, who lifted it past the goalkeeper into the corner, and at the time it was 2-2. Now looking at that goal again, when you see the replays of it, for some reason Gomez in the back four decides to leave his position and he goes into midfield to make a challenge. By doing so, he exposes Virgil van Dijk one-on-one with a centre forward, and there's a winger on the opposite side keeping Robertson busy also. Trent Alexander-Arnold's out of the game because it's played over to the right-hand side. And to be fair to Bamford, he makes the run and he's opportunistic, looks for something that comes off the defender and gets lucky and scores. But the fact that Gomez left his position and left Van Dijk exposed, if we can pin one of those two centre-backs down with the wingers trying to attack down the line and coming inside, then we could have some joy. But the Gomez-Van Dijk partnership isn't the best, and I have to say that. And you have to look at the third goal. Leeds' third goal, if you can recall, middle of midfield on the left-hand side. They move the ball out to the right-back position. The midfielder who plays the ball out wide right is 35-40 yards from goal and he does it. He then sees an opportunity to make a run. And the reason that he's made the run is as the ball gets played wide and people are moving towards the box, Gomez panics. He calls back Trent Alexander-Arnold because the winger's got in front of Alexander-Arnold. He's trying to get back goal side. Gomez has got Bamford or whoever's up front next to him. Can see the run. He's panicking. He completely ignores what Virgil van Dijk is doing. And Van Dijk goes to the left-hand side because he believes the ball's going to be played down the line. They've already got Robertson there, but he's already got a winger up against him. The right back's got the ball. Van Dijk sees the opportunity and he moves away from Gomez. And all of a sudden, there's a massive 20-yard gap between the two centre-backs. The midfielders had been changed by this point. Fabinho and the youngster had come on. They got caught ball watching. The midfielder who laid the ball off for Leeds makes a run into the box, unmarked, gets played into him, takes a great first touch and then volleys it into the far corner with Alisson Becker completely beaten again. And it just goes to show the space that Liverpool are going to give you in that back four with Gomez and Van Dijk playing next to each other. The two fullbacks, they like to go forward. If you can pin them down and push them the other way, it's going to cause them problems. They're not the best at defending. They're not the best with their positioning in defensive situations. And Chelsea can expose them. I really believe we can expose them. And I really believe that Timo Werner can have an absolute field day against Gomez and Van Dijk. But it's important and imperative he puts himself up against Gomez. Van Dijk likes to be the cover, Gomez the marker, and Werner will make him look stupid tomorrow. He really, really will. We just need to make sure we don't get caught playing that ball from bloody side to side all the time. Get that ball forward and get it forward early. Precise, crisp passing will win this game. As I said, I can't show you footage of this, but just have a watch. Go onto YouTube, Liverpool 4 Leeds 3 highlights, and you'll see what I'm saying about each goal. Play this video back and you'll see what I'm saying. There's major issues between the midfield and their back four. Sitting too deep and then they go and then they get themselves exposed. As I say, the space between Gomez and Van Dijk, ball watching, it's just, there's so much opportunities for Chelsea tomorrow. So what of the Chelsea team tomorrow, knowing that we know 4 players are out? We know Chilwell, Silva, Hakim Ziyech and Christian Pulisic are all out. Will Frank Lampard go with the same team that started the game against Brighton? That team was Kepa, Alonso, Zuma, Christensen and James. Midfield was Jorginho, Conte. Then you had Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, Ruben Loftus-Cheek and then Timo Werner. I think there's going to be some changes to the Chelsea team tomorrow. I think Azpilicueta will come in and play left back for Alonso. Chilwell's not quite ready, so we need to make sure we're more secure at the back in defensive areas. And I think Azpi going up against Salah is a better option than Alonso going up against Salah. So I'd put Azpi left back, Kepa in goal, Azpi left back. Centre backs, you might see a change. You might see Rudiger come in. Both centre backs played well. I mean, would you stick with Zuma and Christensen? I probably would. I think midfield is interesting tomorrow, and I think we're going to go the 3-man midfield. And I think Ruben Loftus-Cheek will miss out on this particular game starting with Mateo Kovacic returning. And I believe you're going to see Jorginho, Kovacic and Conte middle of midfield, just to match up Liverpool. The front three is going to be interesting again. You could see Mason Mount, Timo Werner and Tammy Abraham, or Giroud up front. I think you're probably going to see the same three. I think you're going to see Havertz on one side, Mount on the other, with freedom to come in and roam with Timo Werner up front. As I say, there's going to be plenty of opportunities for Chelsea to get in and to create Liverpool problems. We need to make sure we're defensively sound, defensively solid, and then if we can deal with what they're throwing at us, we can cause them so many problems going the other way. I can't stand Liverpool, and I hope we really smash them. I'll take a 1-0, I'll take a 3-4. We just need to beat them. That's how much it means. If you like this video, smash the like button for me, then subscribe to the channel. But make sure you hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss when my videos come out. But hopefully you've enjoyed it. You're getting the message that I'm trying to portray here. We just need to beat Liverpool. Beat Liverpool, we make my weekend. Thank you so much for watching. Post your comments, comment section below. Come on, Chelsea. Smash them. See you next time.